Hello, everybody. Thank you for being on this live. This is Tuesday's top tip, and I'm talking about getting loud. Some of you may have seen me at the Credit Repair Expo, and I got on stage ringing my cowbell, and I wanted to prove it to you for those of you who were there. This sits on my desk, and it just says get loud. It's my reminder of getting loud, and we're going to talk about that today. How do you get loud in your business? So my mantra last year, all of last year, was about getting loud. And so this sat on my desk. I gave these out last year at the Credit Con event in Houston, Texas. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what these two words mean to me, get loud. You know, as this sat on my desk, I would look at it and it would be the reminder of what I'm going to talk to you guys about, because I think most people, the reason your business is not succeeding isn't because you're not good enough. You absolutely are. You care enough. You're good enough. All of that is true. But maybe you're not in front of the right people. Maybe the right people haven't heard you, haven't seen you. And that's what I want to talk about today on what really does get loud mean. It actually doesn't mean to get louder, okay? In terms of like raising your voice and that type of thing, but it's really about getting seen. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm really excited to do that with you. I hope all of you are doing well. So let's go ahead and dive into it. You're too quiet. You're too quiet. And I know that for you because I know that for me. When I was trying to grow and scale my business, I was really quiet about what I was doing. As a matter of fact, I thought getting loud about what I was doing in the credit space would make me look like a scam. I didn't want to be like the other people. And then someone said something to me I thought was really, really important. I want to say this to you today. I did not say this on my speech at the Credit Repair Expo. So if you were there, this is different, but you're going to hear a lot of the same things too. But the office that I worked in was like a suite. It had multiple different offices in it. And the financial advisor in that office was the owner of the building. And he came to me one day and he's like, man, why don't you tell more people about what you're doing? People need it. And I said, oh, no. I don't want to get out there and start talking about it because there's too many scams out in the industry. And he said to me, then why wouldn't you get louder? I want that to sit with you guys for a second. If we're thinking, hey, I don't want to be loud because those people who are doing credit sweeps are really loud, guys. They are really loud. They're capturing the people. And he said, why don't you get louder? And I thought about that for a second. And it's like, if we want to really, truly help people, which I know all of you guys do who are listening to this right now, you're one of the success bosses, level up, lead up, boss up. And we want people to be in the right hands. So we need to get louder so that we can attract those people and they're in the right hands, not the wrong hands. So that's our job. And I hope I can help you figure that part out. So real problem. Let's talk about this for a second. Go to my next slide here. Getting loud. Okay, the real problem is you're not losing because you're not good. You're losing because you're not heard. You already know people, you already know what you're doing. You know enough. I was talking about on stage where if you are 15 pages ahead in a book than someone else, you're the expert of the book. So your clients coming to you, people that are coming to you asking you for help, don't know as much as you know. You can help right now. You don't have to know everything right now. As a matter of fact, part of the process of being in business is you're going to find out and you're going to learn. So being open to learning as you go is the most important part. And those of you who are success bosses, your partners with Level Up Score, you're in the private community, something's really fun that we're going to start doing in that. So please check out the private community. Make sure you're in that private community. That's Level Up Score Partners page. Make sure you're in there because there's a lot of fun stuff that we're doing in that group. I want you to make sure you are a part of that because it's really important. But a lot of that's the education part, right? What if your client comes to you and they need something from you, but you don't understand how to do that? That's okay. Great. This is an opportunity for you to learn. And every industry does this, guys. No one walks in knowing all things about their industry and how to do it. They learn as they go. New problems arise. Things are constantly changing. So the learning is constant. The idea here is that you have to have an open mind to learn it. So I want you to know that the real problem is not that you need to know more. Okay, it's not that you need to know more. It's just that people aren't hearing you. So that gets me into this part. I said, if you're 15 pages ahead in a book, you're the expert. So you are the expert right now for all of those people who are lost, maybe feeling hopeless in how to improve their credit. You know enough right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this right now, right? Fair? You know enough right now to help those people, and I encourage you to do that. You're good enough right now. You care enough right now. You know enough right now. The problem is you don't know, not enough people know about you. And we got to solve that problem, because those of you who are success bosses, people need you. Matter of fact, you're doing a disservice to your communities if people don't know about you, because you're doing it right and there's a lot of people doing it wrong. But more importantly, let's step aside from the people who are doing it wrong. Let's think about the hope that you can provide to the people who feel hopeless. Have you ever had a goal that you wanted to reach, but you felt like it was impossible? I know I have. There's a book about it. There's a book about it. I'm in that book. It's called The Science of Scaling. Read that book, because it's going to blow your mind. It's not impossible. But a lot of people are stuck in that right now. They're feeling like something is impossible, and you are that hope. You're the one that can come and stand in the place and say, hey, I know it feels hopeless. I know when you have a goal and you don't know what to do to reach that goal, man, that's devastating. We see it in all parts of our lives. If I want to lose weight and I don't know how or what I need to do personally. I went through a major change in my life, guys. I'm getting old. Major changes in my life that have made the things that worked in the past for me and my health and fitness not to work today. And then I had to step back and like, what do I do? And so your clients feel that way too when they don't know. They know what they want. Most people know what they want, and sometimes you can help them get clearer about that. I talk about that a lot, and I'm going to talk about that throughout a lot of the Tuesday Top Tips, is how do you help your clients get clear, because they need to get clear. But they know an idea of what they want. The biggest problem is they don't know how to get there. And that's where you guys step in as success bosses. That's why you signed up for Level Up Score. That's why you use Level Up Scores. You're helping people get to their goals and giving them the answers. But right now, you know enough. You have enough. So believe in yourself with that, and be there for your community, because they need you. And you really, truly are doing a disservice when you don't. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you feel it? I asked this question to the audience at the Credit Repair Expo, because they had a lot of people get on stage. And these people got on stage and told their stories. Amazing speakers. I was actually completely, utterly impressed by the speakers at the Credit Repair Expo. We had a very high caliber of credit professionals at that expo that I have not seen in the industry. I've been to a lot of different industry things, and the caliber of people that were there, that love and care, that got on stage and prayed, like that caliber of people, the people who aren't afraid to be real and aren't afraid to show you their real true selves. That was who was at the Credit Repair Expo. So if you guys get a chance to go, obviously they're going to have it in Orlando, which is Florida, my hometown, next year. So make sure you know about that. I encourage you to be there. And of course, Credit Con's coming up. That is in a couple of days, actually. Again, another industry-wide event that you can get at. But my point of saying that, did you feel it, to the audience, is because those people came on stage. And there was a lot of people just that you're networking with. And what I wanted you to feel, and what I'm asking you guys to feel, is, have you been in a place where there are people who you networked with, or people who you met, people who told their story, that you felt it in your heart? Like, man, that person, right? They touched you. You will remember them. You will not forget them. They were the people that really, really, truly touched you. And what I'm saying to you guys is, that is what you need to do. You need to be that person too. You need to be a person that walks in the room, the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you talk. You're being an authentic person that people remember you. And that is how you grow and scale your business in any industry. It doesn't matter what industry, right? And that's what I mean by get loud. I'm going to give you some more examples of that, but I want you to think about that. When you've been in a room with someone and you felt it, like, that's my people. That's my people. And that's my challenge to you, is you got to help your clients feel it. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit deeper. I am going to go into why stories work. And I'm going to actually kind of take you back a little bit on a story of my own, so that maybe this might help you understand where I'm going from this. We talked about, did you feel it? You're feeling it because of the way the person walks and talks and carries themselves, but you're probably feeling it even more in their story. A lot of the people that got on stage, they had a story, and their story maybe really, truly resonated with you, right? maybe I remember a lady got up to the mic and she was talking about Nicole Ashley's speech and what Nicole Ashley went through. And she's like, I went through that. I watched my mom go through that. I watched my sister go through that. It's emotionally something that's inside of me that I feel. And she was attracted to Nicole Ashley on her story, right? We all have a story. God gave us that. And I'm just asking you to dive into your own personal story and think about how that might resonate with your audience. That's how you're going to attract and pull people in to get those clients that you're desperately seeking to help, right? It's your story. So let me tell you a story that helped me get to this place that I'm talking about right now with you. Back when I was in my early 20s, I was a loan officer. I was a single mom, divorced mom, and I had 2 children. Of course, I said mom, right? I had 2. My ex-husband did not financially support me. He did provide a little bit of support, but it was minimal, not something that was going to pay the bills, right? So I was really on my own. I had to figure things out for myself. And quite frankly, I didn't even know how to get car insurance. Okay. I mean, he had taken care of all of those things for me. We got married very early and I just didn't know how to do anything. He was much older than me. He knew how to do everything. So I just let him do it. Right. So I'm stepping out. Some of you women are on this call and you're like, yeah, that's me. I got in the real world, single, divorced, whatever, stepped into the world and didn't know how to do the things and how to figure it out. It's a beautiful place to be because we get to learn and it's opened up, but I didn't. But I knew that I had to take charge and I had to be the one that was going to help my children, right? I'm trying to get to where you just see me. Let's see if I could do this. Oh no, it's not going to do it. Okay, I'll go back to that screen then. Okay, I knew that I had to support my children and that was really important to me. And obviously we had to pay the bills, right? And so in the mortgage industry, I knew there was this one real estate agent who was really big in the industry. And I was like, man, if I could just grab his attention, then in doing that, I can pay my bills. It was going to set me, right? And so you might know that one person that I'm like, oh, that's the person that's going to help me get to where I want to go. And so he was this person for me. And I worked to try to get his attention and allow me to come and present to him. And so finally, he gave me that opportunity. I was very, very fortunate when I was in my early 20s. No one really knew me, right? Is early in my career. Anyway, I go into his office and we do the little small talk. And then he he asked me for my business card. And I was like, oh, great. This is a good sign. Someone asked you for your business card. That's a really good sign. I'm trying to see if I have that original business card on my desk. I used to. But he asked me for my business card and I handed it to him. I was really excited to hand it to him. And he looked at it and this is not the card, but I'm just going to pretend like it is. He looked at it and he kind of analyzed it, looked at it front and back. And I was really impressed by my card, by the way. It just said, a new home is up your alley. Of course, my name's Allie, so it was play on words, right? And so I was really impressed by it. So I thought he would be like, oh, that's kind of cool. No, instead, he looked at it with his face like, and he literally threw it across the room at me and it landed on the floor by my feet. And he said, if this is how you do business, I can't do business with you. And you talk about like, you're trying to get this person's attention. You know, this is the person that's going to change your life if you can connect with this person. And they just throw your business card back at you. And it's like, hey, if you're going to do business like this, I can't do business with you. And it's like someone just like kicking you in your teeth, right? It's like, it's not a cool experience at all. Thankfully, I have a personality where I can swallow that and be like, what in this is for me, right? And also, thankfully, he was more like a mentor. So he didn't just leave me at that. He actually explained what he was talking about. And I want to explain that to you because I thought it was really important when I learned it. He said, people need to know, like, and trust you. How are they going to know, like, and trust you if you have a business card that doesn't have your face on it, right? And so that made a lot of sense to me at that point in time. It's like, yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm just going to add my image of me on my business card. No problem whatsoever. That's easy. Should have thought of it myself. Didn't. Great. Thank you. Right. Next, he says, hey, what do you do? And now I'm thinking, man, this guy is like, he's like picking on me, right? Because he knows I'm a loan officer. That's how I got the appointment to meet with him. And I said, I'm a loan officer. And he said, yeah, I know. So now you're feeling really dumb, right? And he goes, no, who do you help? And I sat back and thought for a second, I'm like, why is he being so mean to me, right? And so I said, I help everybody who needs a home loan. Have you ever said that? You're in credit? And I know you guys have, because you talk to me all the time. And I'll ask, like, and you can test me if you haven't had a conversation with me, call me, do a strategy call with me. And I'll ask you, one of the very first questions I'll ask you is, who do you help? And most of the times the answer, those of you who haven't seen my videos and my and speeches and stuff, usually say, I help everybody with credit problems. Okay. And so that's what I said. I hope everybody needs a home loan. And he said, well, then I can't even refer to you, because I'm a very successful business owner and I only refer to people who are experts in their thing. You can't be an expert at everything. Now think about that for a second. You can't be an expert at everything. I can't be an expert at everything. It's just impossible, right? You think of an attorney has their expertise. They might be, a divorce attorney or a bankruptcy attorney or whatever that might be. They have their own thing. And here we are as credit professionals saying, I help everybody. And it's just not possible. So he really got me thinking about that I needed to have my own story. I needed to have my own audience. And that's when I became the first-time homebuyer specialist, which went really well with my tagline, a new home is right up your alley. So maybe I was thinking in this direction the whole time. But my point is that I became a first-time homebuyer specialist, and that made me very widely known in my area. And at that point, I became an expert of that, all things. Like if you needed down payment assistance, I got you. If you needed the home loan and understanding the home loan process, I got you. If you needed credit help or debt to income ratio help or financial debt management, I got you. I was that person. I became very widely known that if you came to me and you're a first-time homebuyer, you would get to the promised land. So that's the next thing that I want you guys to realize is our job, our sole purpose is to help someone get to the promised land. So what does that mean? That means their goal. So if I have a story and I'm a first-time homebuyer specialist and I have a story, I can resonate with other first-time homebuyers. True? And so I'm asking you to do that. I had a woman who is a Level Up Score partner, and she is Pink Purse Purpose. Hope I said that right. She works with women who are looking to improve their life, and she wants to empower them. I talked to someone who's wants to work with men who have recently been divorced, because they have a story, they've been there, they've done that, and they got to the other side. They can help that person have a journey to get to the promised land. That's one of the ways that you can get really loud, right? If I say that I'm a first-time homebuyer specialist and I actually get you to the other side and you get to buy a home, then I delivered on that promise, got them to the promised land, and that's my only job. Right? That's my only job. But when I do that, then everybody wants to know who I am. That client's referring all their friends to me. The loan officer that's involved is referring all their people to me. The real estate agent who's involved is referring all their people to me. I'm getting Google reviews. I'm getting people on Google coming straight to me. Does that make sense? But everybody knows exactly what I do. Now, if you're thinking in your head that by doing that, you limit your audience and then you can't get as many referrals, that's not true. That's not true. It's a myth that I think we get scared about, right? We're trying to grow our company and we're like, oh, if I limit myself to just this one audience, then I can't help everybody who comes to me. That's not true, right? If you come to me and you're not my audience, doesn't mean I can't help you. It just means I know who I need to talk to. Fair? Okay. And they know who I am. So the people who are referring know who I am, what I do. And then my audience knows. And I can really understand their pain points and deliver that story to them so they can feel me, right? So another way of getting loud. But our purpose, our sole purpose in our job is to get them to the promised land. All right. So what does get loud actually mean? What does it mean to get loud? I kind of gave you some clues in this, right? It's knowing your story, talking about your story, being present and visible on your business card, on social media, doing things like what I'm doing right now. You can do something like this, a Tuesday top tip for your audience, right? For your audience. So think about that. Things like this will help you get loud so that you can attract those customers. Now you're not chasing customers. They're trying to find you in every way they possibly can. What a beautiful thing that you can really help them with. So I'm going to break down my framework with you of how I believe is a really good way to get loud. This will make it, I think this will click with you, okay? So my framework on Get Loud is I use the L-O-U, lock in, own, use, and drive. So we're going to go through each of those letters, what they mean, so that you can, hopefully this will really resonate with you and you can hold this in your mind. And then if you see me and you want a kettlebell, this is not a kettlebell, guys. This is a cowbell. Kettlebell you do when you work out, okay? But if you guys want one of these so that you have it on your desk and Get Loud, let me know. I will get this to you. I have tons of these. I will get this to you. Some of you that were at the Credit Repair Expo got this. Let me know if you need this. I'll probably take these to the Credit Con event as well. For those of you who know my story about getting loud and you want this, if it resonates with you, you can have it on your desk. But let's dive into the loud part, the L-O-U-D, and what that means. So let's go first with L, lock in. All right, this is lock in your who. Probably the most important thing you can do in your business. I talked about this a lot already. Know who you are. What have you been through? What are the pain points you've been through that you had a transformation that got you to the other side, aka the promised land, that you now can deliver a journey for to your client? Okay, that's your who. Lock in your who. This is so, so important. Your story defines your audience. So if you don't know your story, what I encourage you to do is take a weekend by yourself in a hotel room and really sit and think about your story. What are the things you've been through in your past that you've overcome, the transformation that you had? How can you deliver that to someone else? God gave each and every one of us a story, and I ask you to really think about what that story is, because someone needs to hear that story. I told Nicole Ashley, because she had never told her story before, and I said, Nicole, I need you to tell your story. You helped, I don't know how many people. She's like, one person? I said, I don't know if it's one. I don't know, but I bet it's more than one that you helped by being on that stage and telling your story. And I encourage you all to do that as well, because someone needs to hear your story. That's why God gave it to you. But lock in your who. Again, your story defines your audience. It's not, I help everybody with credit problems. It's your story, it's your transformations, the journey, and that you can help them get across the finish line as well, right? You can help them get to the promised land. So that's the L, lock in your who. Now let's look at the O, own your voice, okay? Your story is your message, but people need to know it. People need to know it, and you got to repeat it over and over and over again. I don't care if your social media platform just talks about your story over and over again. You are going to attract your people, okay? And you're going to get better and better at helping those people, because you're going to be an expert at that thing. And that's going to help you get even louder, right? So own your message. Your message is there for a reason. Own it, own your voice, speak it, and speak it consistently. So that goes into the U, which is use your voice, right? Consistency creates that visibility. So whether that's on social media or, your networking, your business card, like all those things, use your voice. Let people know what your story is. Be clear on your who, be clear on the journey and the promised land that you deliver for your clients. I can promise you right now, if you start today, you will have no problem whatsoever getting clients coming into your door. But I also promise you the same thing. If you're random and you say, I help everybody with credit problems, you have a very, very big competition out there. And most of those are credit sweeps, because those people can grab your people. They can charge less, and they're very loud. They got that. Someone, I saw a post like, these credit sweep people, they have the best marketing plans ever, right? So think about that for a second. If you are helping everybody with credit, then you have what we call a red ocean, which is aka bloody, very competitive. You want to go where there's blue ocean, right? You have something original, because you have your own story, right? So use your voice, make sure people know about you. And you could do that in multiple different ways, right? And you could do a combination, lots of different ways. The next one is D, and D is drive value. Referrals come from trust, not asking. So with this part, I think it's pretty clear from just the stories that I've told you so far, is you got to get them to the promised land. You got to provide on what you say you're going to provide on. If, for instance, I'll give you a story that I said on stage. If you are helping someone, they come to you and they say, hey, Allie, can you help me with my credit? I want to buy a house. Okay. And you're just doing disputes. Shame on you. They asked you to help them buy a house. Doing disputes is not going to do it, guys. It's not going to do it. That's why I developed Level Up Score, because I was a loan officer and a loan officer, and I never do disputes. Now, let me backphrase. I didn't never do disputes, but that wasn't my going in. I didn't go in and say, oh, we're going to do disputes. No, because I knew as a loan officer, disputes can hurt me just as much as they might be able to help me. But the real thing that I needed to do was discover what the client actually needed. And it's not just about the credit score, guys. It's about what's on that credit report. But it's not only about what's on that credit report. It's also about the financial health markers that I'm looking for as a loan officer. That's what you need to deliver. And that's why I created a Level Up Score, because that's what a Level Up Score delivers. Your client has a goal. It's going to deliver a plan to help them reach their goal, right? And so shame on you if you're saying to someone who comes to you and you're taking their money and they ask you to help them buy a house and you're not delivering on that because you're just doing disputes. You might not even have to do disputes. So, all those questions I see in all these Facebook groups asking, hey, what's the magic dispute letter? What if you don't need a magic dispute letter? And so that's something that I teach. And we're going to be talking about that tonight on how to get your first client, your first 10, your first 100. So if you guys are eager to learn more, especially if you're new to the industry, and especially if you are using Credit Repair Cloud, the invitation is at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. We're going to go on from 6 to 8. I'm going to hopefully cut it off at 8 because we can go forever. But I really want to dive in and strategize with you guys on how you guys can get those clients so that you can succeed. People need you. And this is my way of showing you and showing the community what I said on stage. People need you. People need us bad. There are a lot of people really, really hurting. And if I could do my small part to help you reach them, I can't do it. I can do it myself. I can't reach everybody myself. But I can reach everybody by you reaching out, and more of you credit professionals reaching out and helping people. And that's what I'd like to deliver. So remember this. Diaz drive value. If you do what you say you're going to do, you will never have to worry about your business. I always say, do what you say you're going to do, best you keep your job. But truly, if you do what you say you're going to do, like help them buy a home, and you're doing all the things to help them buy a home, then you will never have to worry about you. People will be knocking down your door. And that's what happened to me. That's what can happen to you. So when I walked across that stage at Credit Repair Expo and I got that $1 million award, it was not because I did disputes. It was because I helped people get to their goal, and I was really, really good at it, right? And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know that I'll be really, really good at it, remember, Level Up Score will make you really, really good at it. Okay, number one. But then number two, as you get more and more confident, you're going to get better and better. As you get more experience, you're going to get better and better at what do your clients actually need. I first started on helping them improve their credit score and realized that they needed all this other stuff. They needed DTI analysis. They needed down payment assistance a lot of time. They needed to understand how to start a savings account because we needed reserves sometimes. So all those things came into play, but it didn't come into play until I started actively working with people and helping them get to their goal. I hope that resonates with you guys. Okay, let's move on. So now you have the L.O.U.D, L-O-U-D. But what happens when you get L.O.U.D? You get known, you get trusted, and you get referred. You get known, you get trusted, and you get referred. Sometimes without ever asking, but please ask. Please ask every time you help someone get to the promised land. Ask every single person involved in that transaction for a Google review. Ask every single person in that transaction for a referral. Ask everyone in that transaction to remember you and give them something to remember you by. Maybe, just maybe, it's not a business card without your image on. One of my fun ways of doing it is I had the business card with my image on it, like my mentor. My unrequested mentor told me it was a magnet that they stuck on the refrigerator. And I would have people call me and say, your magnet is on my refrigerator, and people come to my house all the time and take a picture of it. So I'll leave you with that. I appreciate you all, each and every one of you. Get loud. Get loud. But remember my cowbell sitting on my desk. You don't have to have my cowbell. And maybe your mantra is not get loud. It's a really good one though. But whatever that is, whatever that you know that you need to do, and whatever words resonate with you, I recommend that you get something that's a reminder to you that's sitting wherever you're going to be all day long. Maybe it's just a simple, I got these two. Maybe it's a simple sticky note, right? Maybe it's a little card that says happy ? These are things that I have on my desk to help me remember where I'm at. This one here, I'll show you this because I like little things to help remind you. This one is sitting on my desk still to this day. I'm in Florida, guys. You know that I am. But I had a big goal to get to Florida and have my beach house. And so this sat on my desk every day as I grinded and didn't get sleep, all those sleepless nights, sleepless days, no eating, forgetting to eat food. This sat on my desk and reminded me why I was doing it for. And I would play with it because it is a sand timer, and I would move it up and down throughout the day just to remind me you're doing this because you have a really big goal to get your beach house. And if anybody, you know me, the beach house is more than just the house on the beach. There's something very powerful behind that. But this sits on my desk still to this day because I'm not in my beach house yet. Okay. I'm in Florida. I do have a house by the beach, but it's not what that whole thing represented for me. And so this sits on my desk to remind me what I'm doing today, that I'm spending time with you guys today, that I sat down and had to figure out how to make a PowerPoint slide for this, how to get my script, what to say, that I did that for going to Credit Repair Expo, paying for my plane ticket, getting out there to be in front of you. This was my reminder of what I'm doing it for. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys. Those of you who are partners with Level Up Score, thank you for being success bosses. Those of you who are not partners, if you are interested in being a partner, we love you. We want you. We want to help you grow your business. Your business doesn't grow when you get better. It grows when you get seen. I want to help you do that. It's so important to me. It's a passion of mine to help you. So use me for that because that's what I'm here for. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, you may have seen a flyer on social media about it. Get in that class. If you're struggling to get clients, get in that class. If you just want to know, hey, maybe there's a better way, get in that class. I want to help you. Maybe you want to see how simple and sleek I've made my process so that I can have a life while also providing and giving to my community. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And thank you for being on Tuesday Top Tips. I will see you next week. Fun fact. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. It may get discovered through being at CreditCon, but I will be at CreditCon in Las Vegas. So if you're not going to be there, you can be pseudo there with me on Tuesday's Top Tip because I will be there and I'll do it right in the CreditCon event so that you can see and be exposed to it. Maybe I'll just walk around and you can see what's going on at CreditCon. Again, I appreciate you all. If you are going to CreditCon but you haven't got your ticket, remember that Level Up Score does have a $100 off code. So when you go into the CreditCon website, you can Google search CreditCon. It's going to take you there. When you go there and you buy your ticket, you can put in the code LEVELUP100, all one word. Doesn't matter. There's no you don't have to be all capitals or anything. Just LEVELUP100. Get that $100 off. When you do that, Matt Listra will be sending me a list of everybody who came in under my code. You will get a special gift from me, and I'm just really excited to see you there at CreditCon. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed day, and I will see you soon.